because this is important to understand, and this is just a quick overview of where music comes from. So we got to take a look, especially when we talk about jazz. Okay, we can't start in New Orleans, man. Okay, so let's talk about the people where our ancestors really come from, and what was their music sensibility, and why did they play? You know, you could, this is a whole course, so this is going to be a quick glossary course so that you can use these basic concepts in your further study. If you want to study traditional African music or African music today, it's vast, man. It's vast, okay? You can go there, live there, and you really get it. But you're going to find these same common characteristics across all of African music, especially traditional African music, and then all of African American music, and then all of American music, and then really what's become the world music today. Okay, so let's take a look. All right, so now there's three common categories in ancient and traditional African music. You got the secular, which is like your everyday music, you know, your songs, your storytelling, your what's going on in the community, your secular, non-spiritual. I use the word religious, it's not really accurate, but they did have belief systems. So it didn't really it's just music for the common, everyday music. What you hear every day, you could say that. Then you have the non-secular music, which was used for certain religious and ceremonial music, which even today, you know, there's not a church service in the world that doesn't have some kind of music. You understand? So we're going to break this down. So that's more of a ceremonial music, you know, the birth of a child, movement of different festivals, etc., that are dealing with more deeper things, like because they were into astronomy, so like certain days based on the stars and ceremonial. That's what I'm talking about. Okay, rituals. Then you got the most secret level, which is the secret music, which is reserved for the master musicians and for the music of the secret societies that were able to be initiated into the school of mysteries, basically. Okay, now this is kind of a parallel kind of today. Okay, so you can say today you're in the school of mysteries, because I know you guys have never heard this and you don't know a lot of this history, but now and even the way we teach is a mystery. Okay, now check it out. So welcome, you guys. Now, but in the old days, you know, you had to pass a lot of tests. You couldn't just get it on YouTube for free, and or even go to jazz education school, pay. You know, and even in the old days in America, if a cat didn't like you, he ain't gonna show you his secrets, man. You know, you had to do certain things, and you had to be likable, and we'll talk about that. You know, that was part of how this music was always handed. If a cat didn't like you, he didn't care. You could practice, but you're not in the inner circle. You dig what I'm saying? That's like the school of mysteries. And I know because I've been on. You know, you have to be initiated in a way, man. Okay, and you know, it's so. But we're doing this today. This is modern times. You know, there's no mystery. Like I said, if you're in tune, that's why you're here. And so this is welcome to the United Institute of Music Science. So it's not a mystery today. All right. But you got to understand that you can't be a good musician. You can't be a good musician without being a good person. See, that's one of the mysteries. So back in the old days, they check you everything. You had to follow. It was a whole lot of shit you had to go through and test to even get exposed to the school of mysteries as in your field was music, because it's now you're dealing with medicine and their whole belief system. All right, so just I've done enough ancient studies, but today it's not a mystery. Well, we're going to just use this right away. We're going to talk about the 4 common characteristics that are found, because you're going to find these today. You dig? You're going to find it today, like polyphony. What is polyphony? Polyphony is many melodies at the same time. Like if I'm playing, or what they would call like counterpoint. You know, that's a type of polyphony, because you got melodies overlapping. You got the melodies. I can't remember the pieces I was doing, but I'm not here to practice. I'm here to show you guys what's that, or show off. All right, but I'm here to show you what these 4 common characteristics you find in all music. Now, polyphony is just multi melodies overlapping, like you see that in all the music. You know, all the like if polyphony is like melody is this. If I do that's polyphony, and if I play it like this and it's all going on, that's a polyphonic. Monophonic would be like, okay, I'm just gonna do one note, you know. Okay, that's your melody. But polyphony is when you have all this shit going on. And it's started in traditional African music. You have it today. In all music, you have it today. Polyrhythms. Many rhythms going on at the same time. That's especially a distinct, important part of all the music, especially music, African music, and the music that we talk about like today, so-called jazz. Right? These labels are just, you know, they're just labels that's thrown on the music. Now we're talking about, you get into that area, you're trapping yourself into a box in the industry. Then you got syncopation. Syncopation will be like on the upbeat, you know, on the like jagged rhythm, right? So anything that's syncopated that's ancient, that's old. And then antiphony. What's antiphony? Antiphony can be call and response. You know? Antiphony is like call and response. Like you see it in church. You know, you see it in rock concerts. You see it in hip hop shows. You see it all over the music. You see it in ancient African music. And you see it in today. So that's like a conversation that's always going on. It's very important. Like if I go tap tap, you know that's coming, so you can respond. You know, I put out something, I play something, you know, and then you respond. That happens all the time, you know, and that's part of traditional music and part of modern music today. Okay, whether you want to call it, it's jazz. Okay, so you know to understand it's at the center of the culture. Okay, it's at the center. Even today, music is always at the center of a culture, and it's at the center of a community. It brings people together. So there you got King Tut, and I was playing King Tut Strut for you. And it's polyrhythm. You got one bar 3 and one bar 5 happening at the same time. So there's overlapping polyrhythm.